Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Charlotte, this is Leo, and today we thought we would talk about our top favorite things about our RV. Now your top favorite things might be different because everybody has a different type of RV with, you know, different creature comforts.
Right.
So we just thought we'd go over what our top five are.
And just to be clear, we have a 2020 Greyhawk,
Jayco Greyhawk.
Jayco Greyhawk 30Z, 30-foot Class C, that we love. So that everything we talk about is in the context of being in that vehicle. So
right.
I'll start. We're going to do the top five with from 5 to 1. So we'll save the best for last. So number 5 is lithium batteries. One of the first things that we did after we bought the rig is send it in to have a couple of improvements made, refurbishments made, and one of the main things there, in addition to solar, which we're not talking about, were the lithium batteries. And these things are just awesome. If you know anything about lithium batteries, they're a bazillion times better than your basic AGM lead-based batteries. They last longer. You can get them down to almost 0% instead of 50% where you start ruining them. We got 2 of them, and so that provides 100 watt hours per battery. So we have 200 watt hours, or amp hours, I'm sorry, of power. We don't do a lot of boondocking. We just haven't yet. I think we'll probably start doing that a little bit more as we move out west for some of our trips. But at least in the first year, it was kind of limited to overnights at Cracker Barrel,
right,
in places like that.
But I mean,
but
the
we
battery
never had
charge,
to worry
right,
at all about power.
The charge barely went off of 100%.
It's pretty awesome. They're expensive. That's just the nature of the lithium batteries. But they last forever. Where you might be changing AGM batteries every 2 to 3 years, you're not going to worry about these batteries for at least a decade. Most of them are warranted. I need the Battleborn batteries that we have are warranted for like 10 years. Right. So it's a great investment. So that's number 5. Number 5,
right. So number 4 is our television.
Yeah.
Most RVs have a TV that is like itty bitty, and it's up over, like the bunk, or it's behind one of the benches at the kitchen table, so you're always like,
yeah, I don't know what it is about RV engineers that I think they sit there and they try and torture you, like, where can we put this TV where the sight line is as obtuse as possible, where they have to look to the side. One of the great things about our TV is that it is right across from the next item that we're going to talk about that we love so much. Right. So the sight line is like straight on, and in addition to being a great sight line, it's a big TV. It's like 50 inches, which is kind of weird in an RV. Most of them are like way smaller than that. So it's almost like being at home for us, because we're only sitting about, 6 to 8 feet from the TV.
Right.
So 50 inches feels like it's massively huge. So we love our TV.
Right.
And the next item,
number 3,
something we use with the TVs,
is the recliners.
Yeah. You should probably talk about how do we end up with recliners, you may ask.
Well, I mean, it was really, he really wanted the recliners. I would rather have the couches because I can sit like this, and of course, my feet are close to his hands so he can give me a foot massage, but no, he wants the recliners. But I'm okay with the recliners.
I wanted the recliners because when you're sitting down, if you're on a couch, you don't have any place to put your feet. You have to put them on the ground. That's not the most comfortable thing. I'm used to just, you see this setup here, I'm just used to sprawling and putting my feet up on, the ottoman or whatever. The recliner gives you the chance to just, pull a switch and boom, you've got your feet right there. So I just think it's awesome. If I had to go back to a couch, I probably could, but I really don't want to. These things are just so comfortable. So when you're sitting there and you're watching your 50-inch TV, it's really like being home. So it adds to the comfort, the already comfortable RV that we have. So that's number 3.
All right, and number 2 is really a kind of a toss-up between 2 and 1, which seems to be for our favorites all the time. It's 2 in 1 is hard to come up with.
Yeah.
But just some background before I actually say what it is when I sleep at night, I need it quiet. White noise is not for me. So what Leo needs though is he needs cool air. So having a fan in the room it's good for him, but it's not for me because the noise, the sound, no matter how quiet, you can get these whisper quiet fans, but they're never totally whisper quiet, and I can hear it and it keeps me awake. So this was not a cheap item,
No.
but we felt it was worth its weight of gold. And when we bought the RV, we also purchased a ceiling fan, and
Right.
we had that installed.
Right, and part of the cost of it, I mean, the ceiling fan was a little on the pricey side too, but having it installed was pricey because they had to do all sorts of weird things to the ceiling of the bedroom with the wiring and getting it structurally
Mounted.
sound up there. So shout out to Coach Crafters, they did an excellent job. Coach Crafters
Yes.
in what's the name of that town? It's not Eustis. It's someplace before. I'll put it down in the link. I'll link to it down at the bottom. If you ever need any work done on your RV and you live in the Central Florida area, look these guys up. They're professional. They believe in craftsmanship. It's right in their name. Great place. So you had to pay some to have it installed. But I'll tell you, I don't know how people live without a ceiling fan in their bedroom, even in an RV. And it's saved us so many times where it's warm, the AC. You didn't really want to. It's a long story, but the air movement in there is just awesome. So that's our number 2.
Okay.
And number 1 is
something that when we bought the RV, I looked at it and I thought, oh, this is great. And he was like, yeah, right. So it's decorative. Well, that was the fireplace, and you were saying that don't get your hopes up. It's really not gonna warm this place.
I really didn't think so because I thought it was just basically ornamental. It has this sort of fake flame coming up, and I thought, oh, that's cute. I guess if you're looking for ambiance. But boy, was I wrong. This thing, and they told me at the time, the salesperson walking through said, oh no, this thing throws off some serious BTU. And so we didn't have a chance to try it early on because we're from Florida. It's 6 million degrees until you get to December. But when we went camping in December, we had our first chance to turn it on. And this thing actually does throw out a lot of heat, especially if you leave it on over the long haul. And the advantage to it is that you're not burning through your propane. It's all electric. So, as long as you're plugged into shore power, you've got instant heat. Now, is it going to work if it's 22 degrees outside? Not as well. I mean, you get some heat, but you're going to have to augment it with the propane at that point. But, most of the time, most of us RVers are not out there in 22 degrees. We're out there when it sinks down to like 45 or something like that, and that's when this thing really works well. So if it was really cold, because there were a couple of cold nights in Tennessee, where actually the coldest night was in Florida in late November, early December, when it got down to like 38 degrees.
Right. Yes.
And so I got up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and I turned on the fireplace. And an hour later, it was toasty warm in there.
Right.
And if you seal off like the bedroom, bathroom area from the living area, the living room and the kitchen, and that fireplace is just going there in that living room, it really heats up that space. So if you're looking at an RV and you're in one that has the fireplace and you're like me thinking, this is just a gimmick, it's not.
It's not.
It really, really works well and throws off certainly enough heat to justify whatever the cost is for having that there. So those are our 5 favorite things about our RV. Again, you're driving a different trailer or RV, you're going to have 5 completely different ones, but these are our 5. And
I'm just going to throw out one additional one that was it was on an original list somewhere, but anyhow, it is our fantastic fan.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Our windows in our RV, they open out like this. So you get about, like maybe 2 inches of open thing. window. So you don't really get a cross breeze. But the fantastic fan we have in our bathroom, and we open up the bathroom door and then open up a window or two in the RV, turn on that fantastic fan, and boom, it cools off the RV in no time.
It's like somebody took a giant vacuum cleaner and put it up against your window and just sucked all the air out of the RV. It's super efficient. It's really saved us a lot in really warm temperatures, but it went down. It was cool at night, and you had to somehow get that cool air in the rig. We just crack a window in the living room and turn on that fantastic fan, and literally you could feel it happening as all the hot air was just leaving and it was being replaced by the cool air. So that's another one that probably should have made the list. And it didn't quite, but there you go.
Right.
Bonus pick.
And not to mention, because you're in an RV and you're in a very small space, if you're cooking, when you're cooking something, and you know how the house, gets, you just have
stale.
The smell, of dinner for hours and hours. You turn on that fantastic fan, and like within 10 minutes, boom, it's gone.
It's just gone. So if you have an opportunity to get that, I mean, the fans that come with the RVs, they're okay. Nothing compares to this fantastic fan. It's right in the name. It's fantastic.
It truly is.
So there you go. There are our top 5 favorite things about RV. Thanks for joining us.
We hope you'll subscribe to our channel.
Or at least like the video. That helps the channel too. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.